Hi guys and welcome back. Now in the previous lesson we enabled named root paths, and in this lesson we're going to edit our roots file again so that we can use our named roots in our HTML pages. Now we've already seen this done in previous lessons, so if you go all the way back to the start of this class, we used a similar technique in our Hello World application and in our first demo application. And we're going to use the same techniques again in our Orbit application. And we've already done something similar to this. As you can see here, we have HTML pages #home. So we already have named root enabled for our home page. Each time we edit the roots.orb file, we set the root path to be routed to a controller and action of our choice. And we've seen that. Here's our HTML controller, and here's the actions. Doing this also allows us to create named roots that allow us to refer to these named roots rather than a URL, and we mentioned this in the previous lesson. In our lessons, we'll stick with common Rails convention of using root path form. And what does this form look like? Well, let's type it out here. You don't have to type this code in because this would actually break this file, so don't do it if you don't want to. This is just for your viewing purposes. root_path /. So there we have a root path to our home page, or a root URL. So with this new knowledge, we'll update our named roots in the help, about and contact pages. So let me delete this line of code here, clean this up. There we go. So let's discuss the help page. We're going to go from this line of code here, which is get HTML_pages /help, to this. Let's delete this here. So we leave get open single quotation marks in there, and we say /help. So this is our named root. And what is this going to map to or route to? Well, it's going to route to, don't forget the colon there, open single quotes, HTML_pages, #help. There we go. So I hope that makes sense. HTML pages #help is the controller and the action. And we are mapping the URL /help to that controller and to that action. Hopefully that makes sense, and that's how the pages render. Let me save that. So as I've just said, this new line of code routes a GET request for the URL /help to the help action in the HTML pages controller. This creates two named roots, help path and help URL. Let's use what we've just learned and what we have just done on our other roots. So about becomes, let me delete this line here, /about, close our single quotes, comma, to, colon, open single quotations, HTML pages, #about. Next, we can remove our HTML_pages /home root. That's taken care of by the first line, and our contact one becomes similar. /contact, comma, to HTML_pages #contact. There we go. And let me save this. Let's run our Rails test now and see what happens. Okay, four errors. Why do we have errors? Well, we have errors because our tests are using old roots. Let's go to our controller test file. So on the left hand side, scroll down to test, there we go, HTML pages controller test. Pop that open. Now, you can see here, get HTML pages _home _URL, and the same in all our other tests. These tests are now out of date. What we want to simply say is get root_path. Path. There we go. Next, we want to say get help path. Get about path, and contact path. And these are all matching our named roots that we just enabled here. So I've saved this file. Let me run my tests again. And now we're green. We've enabled our new named roots. Okay guys, that's it for this lesson. I hope all of that made sense, but if it doesn't, please feel free to reach out and ask me any questions that you may have. In the next lesson, we're going to put our new named routes to work in our header and footer files. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.